Happy Eclipse Day, everyone. Tell me, has your city, neighborhood, country, or planet been affected by the Armageddon surrounding you? Have people in your neighborhood or local area turned into zombies? Has anyone come out and mutated into serpent like beasts prowling the cities, waiting to devour your fellow citizens? What? I guess that means you have not been affected by the eclipse after all, and that you are having a good day or a good time wherever you are. And that's just one of the things I'm going to talk about, but not the main thing. Um, I want to go back and refer to a recent skit that happened on Saturday Night Live, in which Kristen Wiig was the guest. Now, she had been there 5 times, right? And in SNL, there is a running joke that if you have been a guest on the program 5 times, they give you this velvet robe with a number 5 embroidered on it, signifying that you have been a guest there 5 times as part of the Five Timers Club. And it was a twist on the joke. Usually, when they give it to a guest who's been there 5 times, they give it to them, they have a little song and dance, and that's about it. But the joke became more that Kristen did not receive her robe, and yet people like John Hamm, who I think was there 3 times, not sure, people who have not been there at least the required 5 times, including Matt Damon, received a velvet 5 times robe and or a jacket. And then the question was asked, "Hey, where's my 5?" And people again were receiving their 5 time guest jacket because they were just giving them out like candy, right? And by the end of the show, the entire cast and crew all have 5 time robes or jackets up on stage. And again, even Kristen got hers. But that joke became so evident. It reminded me of this, and this is becoming quickly to be a joke here instead. Not intentional, but still. And in sports, there's a lot of debate, and something I mentioned before in the earlier post about the GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to sports, especially basketball, because nothing gets you quite heated in the sport of basketball and determining who's the GOAT. Never baseball and never football. Those are clear cut in my mind. Well, in basketball, it was always a debate. Is Jordan the GOAT? Is Kobe in the conversation? Is LeBron the GOAT? And we justify it by statistics and analytics and all the things except trophies won, because all of those stats would cause you to gain that trophy. And this is something I mentioned before. But the GOAT conversation has been used so much by ESPN and Fox Sports and all the other sports outlets that's really becoming a joke now. It's really becoming like the 5 timers club on SNL, where everyone can get a jacket, right? We can call anyone the GOAT because of all the analytics. Maybe not the trophies, but definitely the analytics speak for themselves, right? No one has produced more of this. No one has gained more of that. But no one has a trophy. But still, they're the GOAT, as far as I'm concerned, right? That's what the so-called pundits are saying. So much so in which it really becomes a joke and really blurs about competition and getting the ultimate prize, which is a trophy. But now, because we play favorites, I guess, and we want to choose our favorite player, not objectively, we decide, hey, this person is the GOAT because. Now, for those of us who grew up in a certain era, we understand the reason why we would call this player the GOAT. Or for this new generation, well, look, things have changed. more people are now taking care of their bodies, and people are now getting into shape, and all the things that have changed over time to better the athletes, right? Hand checking used to be a thing, but now it's not. Um, Rules have been changed to encourage more scoring. Um, and of course, there's just everything has changed. So the criteria is different. And still, what matters is that winning the championships will put you in the GOAT conversation. It's at least in my mind. But to say because of analytics and stats and all that, it seems like everyone gets a GOAT jacket. And then it becomes like no one's the GOAT because we all said everyone's the GOAT. It doesn't matter if you happen to be Bill Russell. I mean, everyone's a GOAT because, get that jacket. So I think in media today, we toss these terms around in order to get the clicks and the likes and go on a website or watch that segment on television to find out which pundit is going to say player Y is going to be better than player X, right? The debates will always continue. Like I said in the previous post, they're always going to be subjective. And in the case of the GOAT conversation, we don't want it to turn into like an SNL joke or a joke for anyone in which we claim that person's the GOAT. I mean, you can say that that player from the 70s is the GOAT just because, right? Um, I would think that the criteria in order to become the greatest is that you have to win the championships. I mean, getting the most assists, steals in the playoff series or in the playoffs is important. But there are a lot of players, as we've seen, who have not earned that. And in fact, I'm going to talk about Caitlin Clark for a minute. Now, there was a small debate about whether or not she would be considered a GOAT. You have to understand, the young woman is in college right now, and not everyone in college wins a national championship. Some people who are fortunate to win it, and some people who are not going to win it, but they achieve greater success later on. The story is still out there whether Miss Clark can gain her championship pedigree or championship early road championships in the pros now that her college career is finished. And I'm reminded that Steph Curry, when he played for Davidson, did not win a championship with them. He was knocked out, I believe, in the Elite Eight way back when in the early 2000s. And yet he went on to win multiple NBA championships. Would this be the same for Miss Clark, in which you don't win in college, but perhaps depending on the right team and the right situation, that you will wind up to win multiple WNBA championships? The story continues for her. But it doesn't mean that she will be the GOAT, much less like a lot of players who won one NCAA title in basketball are considered to be the GOAT. There are a lot of players who we look at, who we see back then, who were great college players, but when they went to the pros, it didn't quite work out. So I would say that again, the GOAT conversation is being thrown like candy right now, and it's almost like a running joke, like the SNL joke with the Five Timers Club. I don't think we should let the GOAT conversation be a joke, but the more that we keep mentioning it, the more we toss it out there, the more we toss about our Mount Rushmores and other criteria, it's going to become a joke real soon if we're not careful. And then it will have no meaning. Every time we talk about it, it will turn people away, or it just has no meaning anymore because we talked it to death. Much like the skit in SNL showed us that because you've been on 5 times, people are now just taking it to the point where it really doesn't matter anymore. So that's, I think, is the most important thing from this that I want to share with you, is just that not that we should stop talking about it, but let's stop beating it to death. We all have different generations of people watching the games, seeing the games, watching the players, and we all have different criterias. Let's just agree to disagree on this and say, hey, this player back then was great, like this current player is great, or this current player will soon be great if he finds himself in the right situation and in the right franchise that will help take care of him and his supporting cast. The best is yet to come, but again, let's just be careful with the word GOAT because it'll be just a joke at this point. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that you enjoyed this segment and all the other segments here on this channel. If you like, please click the subscribe button and join in all the fun of good content. But I want to thank you for watching this. I really want to thank you for your support. And until the next time, please take care of yourself and enjoy your day, evening, week, whenever you're watching this. And again, take care.